A proposed federal cap of $8 on credit card late fees threatens to jam up the pricing models of every major bank. This single regulatory shift has the power to alter the rewards, annual fees, and credit limits for millions of cardholders. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what an $8 penalty means for your wallet. We are going to look at the math behind your credit card to see who actually pays when fee revenues drop and who comes out ahead. The disruption started in early 2024 with a rule from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The agency finalized a mandate for large issuers, forcing the safe harbor for a late fee to drop from roughly $32 down to $8. Authoritative Director Rohit Chopra labeled these charges junk fees, designed to drive corporate profits. He maintained that a penalty's legitimate purpose is strictly to discourage late payments, independent of the bank's bottom line. Late fees represent a massive, predictable revenue stream from major issuers. Banks weave these billions of dollars directly into their core economic models to sustain their current card products. Slashing that fee by 75% removes a massive pillar of that revenue. The resulting math breaks the profit algorithm that banks rely on to sustain their current card offerings. The banking industry fought back immediately. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce and the American Bankers Association took the Bureau to court to block the rule. Their primary defense centered on the actual cost of delinquency management. They argued that reminder notices, payment systems, and customer service time cost far more than $8 per incident. In April 2025, the financial sector secured a victory. A legal settlement vacated the CFPB rule, erasing the $8 cap before it could take full effect in the market. But the fight did not end there. Lawmakers quickly introduced the Credit Card Fairness Act, attempting to write that exact same cap directly into federal law. This moved the battle out of the courts and into the legislature. It is now a high-stakes political debate over exactly how much authority Congress will use to dictate the pricing structures of private credit. Consumer advocates and the CFPB spent years reviewing fee data and issuer disclosures. They concluded that the real costs of processing a missed payment, like notice systems and collection labor, did not come close to justifying a standard $30 to $41 charge. To understand the bank's panic, you have to look at how credit cards are priced. The industry relies heavily on cross-subsidy. This means one revenue stream is specifically used to pay for a completely different feature on your card. This animated scale illustrates how that cross-subsidy works. On one side, you have a massive block of revenue generated from late fees. That heavy block provides a financial leverage needed to lift up the expensive perks people love, like cashback, travel points, and rich sign-up bonuses. If that late fee revenue bucket suddenly shrinks to $8, the bank rarely absorbs the hit. The math forces them to balance the equation by shrinking the other side, resulting in lower credit limits, fewer category bonuses, and higher annual fees. America's Credit Unions points out that roughly 74% of consumers pay their bills on time. They argue that dropping the penalty for the minority of late payers forces the responsible majority to cover the difference through those other pricing changes. A lower fee feels like immediate savings if you miss a payment. However, because issuers build their products with expected losses in mind, the collective user base ultimately pays to replace the bank's lost margin. For families balancing rent and groceries, an $8 cap offers real relief. A single $39 charge can trigger a chain reaction of overdrafts, extra interest, and severe stress, making it incredibly hard to escape debt. This tree map breaks down the market share of the industry's largest players, JP Chase at over 17%. Because of their sheer scale, when these giants adjust their pricing, smaller banks immediately copy them. To protect their margins from the pressure on direct fees, these leaders are already repackaging value. They are diverting focus away from penalties and pushing complex, highly segmented benefits like dining credits, rideshare perks, and specific merchant partner offers. But these new benefits are heavily conditional. Statement credits frequently require manual activation, only work at select merchants, and expire every month or quarter. If you forget to track the fine print, the value suddenly disappears, and the bank keeps the money. The issuer successfully protects its bottom line by creating the illusion of value. The cost is still there. It is just buried in the friction of claiming the rewards. For the average cardholder, an $8 cap poses a major psychological risk. A penalty that small can make missing a due date feel relatively harmless, leading people to become less cautious about their payment schedules. That false sense of security is dangerous. Even if the immediate fee is tiny, a late payment still triggers penalty interest rates and severe damage to your credit score. The long-term cost of a lowered score far outweighs the initial charge. When banks tighten their margins, they also tighten their underwriting. Consumers with thin credit histories or fair scores may find themselves facing stricter approval standards and higher baseline costs just to get a starter card. This brings us back to the central policy question Congress now faces. Should a late fee strictly cover the operational cost of collecting a debt, or should it be painful enough to punish risky financial behavior? Credit card pricing is a closed loop. The ongoing battle over an $8 penalty proves that when one revenue bucket shrinks, another inevitably grows. In a highly layered financial system, cashback, convenience, and rewards are never truly free. As the Credit Card Fairness Act works its way through Congress, we want to know what you think. Would you rather have an $8 late fee or a bigger annual fees to keep your rewards? Drop a comment below, hit the like button, and subscribe to CreditVault so you never miss our next investigation.